All right, peace, everyone. Welcome to Hip Hop Astrology TV. I'm your host, the Urban Guru, and I want to give a shout out to my big three, man: Google, Apple, and Microsoft. And I just want to say, the world knows, especially us as consumers, we know that these companies, these brands, are very influential in our day-to-day activity. Real talk, you know what I mean? And I'm saluting them because via Twitter, shout out to Twitter as well. I have been putting these three companies, Google, Microsoft, and Apple, on public notice via Twitter, telling them and introducing them to a new branch of science that is very important for humanity to understand, to be quite frank with you. All right. And let's just get into it, man. And let's just get into it. I went to Twitter on October the 16th. And I told Microsoft, Google, and Apple, I said, "Dear Microsoft, Google, and Apple, according to our Nostradamus Galileo formula." Now, mind you, Nostradamus is the infamous guy who knows about prophecy, the infamous guy who's telling you these world events. And that's a science that is being displayed right now. And Galileo is the infamous Aquarian guy. We in the Aquarian age, who is an astronomer and he mathematician, and also has been noted as discovering moons around Jupiter. So we tell Microsoft, Google, and Apple, hey, we got this formula. For the next days we are likely to see major acts of nature, such as an earthquake, domestic acts of violence such as school shootings, police shootings. A famous person can die along with the airplane crash. If we see one of these five things, it's going to happen between October 19th through the 21st. You see it. Now, I want to make a sidebar because I named five specific things, and there are over 1 trillion things to name. We could have been talking about mops. We could have been talking about essential oils. We could have been talking about speakers. We could have been talking about drugs. We could have been talking about girls. We could have been talking about butterflies. There's a whole lot of things to talk about. I specifically named 5 things that are likely to appear, and most importantly, I'm telling you when these 5 things are going to appear, okay? Now, I don't know another branch of science that can even do that. All right. Now, on October the 20th, CNN reports that New York police failed in fatal shooting of a woman. That's what the commissioner says. Long story short, I believe it was in the Bronx. Officers responded to a 66-year-old black woman acting erratic. She had scissors in her hands. They was able to talk her out of the scissors. However, she grabbed a baseball bat, and then they had to shoot her, and they killed her. Okay. Now, I said police shootings would happen on October the 20th. I said that. I said it on October the 16th, and that's what happened to the T. Now, let's move on, because today, which is October the 21st, we saw a 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit Japan. And we told them, we was very specific with acts of nature, an earthquake is likely to happen. See, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you something. I just want to just flat out tell you that modern science is slow. They're slow. Modern science is just now saying, wait a minute, Einstein was correct. There's something called gravitational waves that operates through space. In other words, envision a trampoline. You're standing on a trampoline on the end. Somebody is on another end. When they jump on a trampoline, there's a ripple effect that you can feel because the trampoline is equivalent to space. So therefore, there were 2 black holes that collided with each other many light years ago, exploded, and sent a ripple through space, which is like a cover, right? Or imagine throwing a little pebble or a rock into a pond, and we see the ripple effects. So an explosion happened in space. Space is really fabric, and it carries this wave type of energy called gravitational waves. And these gravitational waves just so happen to hit the Earth, and our devices in Louisiana and Washington State was able to pick up on that. Very good for you, but you're very slow. We've been knew about that, and that's not to denigrate the craft. I'm just saying that we've been knew about certain waves of energy. The waves of energy that I am talking about are waves of energy that has everything to do with which appears to be natural cycles of nature, earthquakes and things like that. And then we're talking about waves of energy that also have a correlation with human behavior. Pearl Harbor, 9/11, Boston Marathon bombing, Rodney King. See, these events that we say we don't like. Now, here's the kicker, because If we can tell you the day that the event is going to happen, I most certainly can tell you the solution, because we absolutely know what the cause is. We think the cause on the physical plane is just racism, right? And somebody just wanted to do something because they was racist. But the question remains, how do we know the exact day that they're going to do that? And then another question that you have to ponder is, we can tell you the exact day of such an event is going to happen all the way up in the year 2080. There's a good possibility that that person is not even born yet. And that's the level of intelligence that we need to start talking about. That's the level of intelligence that Microsoft, Google, and Apple has to start to display in this new world. All right. This is where science meets technology. This is the Aquarian age, where we start to see consciousness, learning how consciousness is affecting this reality. All right. Very important to understand that, because I just gave you a correlation. The most obvious one, we can say, well, the currents are strong on the Atlantic Ocean, and they go from Africa to the Americas, and that was just a normal slave route, and it was logical. That's also the same route as hurricanes, right? Because there ain't none in the Pacific Ocean. All right. But there's a correspondence with human nature. Okay, human nature and divine nature, which is just really all, I mean, for lack of a better word, it's just all one. It's all nature in that sense. Okay. So Microsoft, Google, Apple, I salute you, but you have work to do. You have work to do, because this information can change thousands, and not even thousands, millions of people's lives. These are the absolute days that we living in culture. You know, we knew it as Nostradamus, as Nas, you know what I'm saying, in hip hop. And if you in hip hop, then that means you have to embrace Nostradamus. You have to embrace the magnitude of such wisdom and such knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's playing out right in front of us. All right. So that's enough of my rant, man. Big salute to Microsoft, Google, Apple. We're going to see you, 2017, one of y'all stepping up to the plate to do the right thing. Peace.